Hi everyone. In my previous videos, we learnt about reflection of light at curved surfaces and all the topics which are covered in your textbook. So now in this video, I am going to explain some additional questions and important questions regarding your annual exam. So first of all, questions are like this here. For example, if you consider, these are all our most important questions. Everyone try to note down these questions and know the answers also. I will explain the answers, of course. The first question is like this here. Why we have to use concave mirror in the construction of solar cooker? So why we have to prefer concave mirror to construct the solar cooker? That is the question. So why? Because solar cooker, what is the use? What is the purpose of solar cooker? It has to cook the food. So that means it uses the sunlight and focuses sunlight, and this particular solar energy is utilized to cook the food. So for that sake we are going to use concave mirror. Why? Because concave mirror is a converging mirror. Due to its converging nature, it converts all the light rays which are coming from the sun. So it is going to convert the light rays, means what here? Light consisting of heat energy. So it will trap the total heat energy which is coming from the sun. So when the object is, when the bowl with some food, when it is placed near the focus of the concave mirror, so total heat energy is absorbed by the food, and then we can trap the heat energy. This particular heat energy is utilized to cook the food. So that is the main purpose of using concave mirror in solar cookers. The question is like this: if we use convex mirror to construct the solar cooker, what is going to take place? So you have to imagine and write the answer. So you know that the convex mirror is a diverging mirror. So if we use diverging mirror, it is unable to trap the heat energy. So that means we are unable to cook the food. These are the questions. And next question, most important question. It is most important and genuine question. So what is the question means? Why we have to use convex mirror as rear view mirror? So why? Because rear view mirror basically used in vehicles to avoid the road accidents. So in case of rear view mirror, convex mirror is preferred as rear view mirror. Why? Because convex mirror has wide range of view and it can cover all the vehicles which is coming behind us, and it is a diverging mirror. Due to its diverging nature, convex mirror always forms virtual, erected and diminished image. So virtual image is erected image. That's why we can see all the vehicles behind us very clearly. So that's why we will use convex mirror as rear view mirror. And next question is like this: if we don't have spherical mirrors, what are the consequences? So that means if we didn't have spherical mirrors like concave, if there is no concave mirror and convex mirror, what are the consequences? Guess and write the consequences is going to ask. So if we didn't find the spherical mirrors, if we don't have spherical mirrors like concave mirror and convex mirror, we don't have all the applications. That means, for example, if we consider concave mirror is used by ENT doctors and dentists, and just now we discussed in the construction of solar cookers to cook the food. And if we consider convex mirror, it is used as rear view mirror. It is used in ATMs and shopping malls for the security purpose, and it is also used to avoid the road accidents. So we didn't find all these applications if we don't have concave or convex or else spherical mirrors. In this way you should write the answer. And question is like this here, one more question: if we didn't have reflection, if we don't have reflection of light, what are the consequences? He is going to ask. So if we don't have reflection phenomena, we cannot see the objects, we cannot see any colors. So why? Because due to the reflection of light only we are going to observe all the objects and all the colors, this beautiful world. So why? Because first of all, light has to incident on one object here. So when light incident on one object, again that object, if that object is opaque, it is reflected by the object, and this reflected light rays reach our eye. So then only we can see the objects. So that means if there is no reflection, we are unable to observe any object, and we are unable to trap the heat energy which is coming from the sun. So these are the consequences if we didn't have reflection phenomena. And next question is like this here: does the laws of reflection are applicable for curved surfaces? Does the laws of reflection are applicable for curved surfaces, or it is only applicable for plane surface? This is the question. So no doubt at all, laws of reflection are applicable for curved surfaces as well as plane surfaces. So why? Because whenever there is a reflection of light take place, these two laws should be obeyed here. So what are the two laws here? Angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection, and the second law is incident ray and reflected ray normal should be lie in the same plane. So whenever there is a reflection of light take place, irrespective of nature of the surface, these two laws should be obeyed. So this is the answer. And next thing is, here some repeated questions are there with me. For example, he is going to ask, if magnification of an image is -1, then what is the nature of image? So this is a question. If magnification of image is -1, what is the nature of image? So what is the nature of image? I told that one. If we find negative symbol here, exactly it is a real image. So real means it is inverted image. Real and inverted image. So here this one is completed. So now we have to consider the numerical value of number. So it is exactly 1, m equal to 1. So if we find m equal to 1, so here what is the conclusion? Size of image equals to size of object. Size of image equal to size of object. So this is the answer for this one. And next question is like this here. How can we get virtual image by using concave mirror? I am repeating the question once again. How can we get virtual image, not real image? How can we get virtual image by using concave mirror? So most probably everyone are going to think about, generally will think that concave mirror only forms the real image. But except one position, if we place the object between pole and focus, if you place any object between pole and focus in front of the concave mirror, it will form virtual image. This is the last position, sixth position I explained in last classes. So for that sake, what we need to do to get the virtual image in case of concave mirror, just we need to place the object between pole and focus of the concave mirror. So then after the reflection, reflected light rays are not going to converge. Due to this, if we extend the reflected light rays, we get the virtual image. So just answer is like this. If we place the object between pole and focus, then we will get the virtual image. That's it. And most important question is differences between real image and virtual image. So this is a very important question. I will explain the answer once again. Real image. If we consider the real image is always inverted image. Virtual image is always erected image. And the next thing, real image can be caught on the screen. Virtual image cannot be caught on the screen. And next thing is real image. When we will get the real image? Real image we can get the real image due to converging beam of light, and we will get the virtual image due to diverging beam of light. And we need to draw one diagram for real image and for virtual image. Concave mirror, convex mirror diagram. You have to draw that one. When the object is placed at infinite distance. And next thing, you should give one example for real image and as well as virtual image. If we consider the real image, when we will get the real image? Very simple. Everyone will watch the movies. That is nothing but real image. The image formed on projector screen. The image formed on projector screen is the best example for real image. And what is the best example for virtual image? Everyone will see we are going to see our appearance in the plane mirror. So the image formed by the plane mirror is best example for virtual image. So these are the differences between real image and virtual image. And one more question is also there. They will ask, what is the difference between concave mirror and convex mirror? So first of all, we will consider concave mirror. Concave mirror is a converging mirror. That's what you should write. And convex mirror is a diverging mirror. And if we consider the concave mirror is coated on convex surface. And if we consider the convex mirror is coated on concave surface. This is what you should write. And afterwards, you should draw the diagram of concave mirror as well as convex mirror. And next difference is concave mirror can form real and virtual images. But if we consider convex mirror, it always forms virtual image. And you should give an example for concave mirror. So what is the example for concave mirror? The mirror used in vehicle headlights is example for concave mirror. And what is the example for convex mirror here? The mirror used as rear view mirror. The rear view mirror used in vehicles is the best example for convex mirror. And these are the differences between concave mirror and convex mirror. And one more thing you should remember here, if we find long answers regarding the differences, definitely you should draw the diagram. Don't forget to draw the diagram. If it will come for 2 marks question, just you should write 3 points or 4 points, that is enough in the form of box. And the next thing, this is also expected question in this year. So table model questions. For example, we consider question here. Here in this table, he is given magnification. So here you should write nature of the image. Nature of image. So that is the question here. He will give magnification. Based on that, you have to write nature of the image. So your magnification values are like this here: 0.5 and -2 plus 1, and we consider one more here, -3/2. So these are the magnification values. So based on this magnification value, we should write the nature of the image. So instead of this one, you will ask like this here. So this way you will give the table here. So these values they will give in the question paper here. So here they will give real or virtual. And next thing, diminished or enlarged. And extremely if we consider erected or inverted. So like this, they will give the table. You have to fill the table here. So now this sign. If we got positive sign, it is a virtual image. If we got negative sign, it is a real image. So first of all, we will decide whether the image is real or virtual. So here we have positive sign. So what is the nature of the image? So it is virtual. So here we got negative value. So it is a real image. Positive again virtual. So here negative again real. So in this way we should decide the nature of image, whether it is virtual or real. And next it is related to size. Already we have I have explained about the size here. So here diminished image is there and enlarged image is there. So here we got 0.5. So that means it is less than 1. So it is a diminished image. So here, irrespective of sign, only we should concentrate on number here. So more than 1 means it is a enlarged image. Enlarged means magnified. So we got 1 here. So what we need to write here? Size of image equal to size of object. Remember this one. And here 3/2. 3/2 means 1.5. It is more than 1. So it is also magnified image. So in this way we have to decide the size. And if we consider last column, it is very simple here. Image is erected or inverted. So in case, only one thing you should remember: if the image is virtual, that is automatically erected image. Already I told. So virtual means erected. So here real means inverted. Virtual means again erected. So real means inverted. So in this way we should fill the table. So this type of questions will definitely we can expect in annual exam. Try to concentrate regarding the questions related to the magnification and its values. And next we will see suppose they are going to ask the questions like this here. Complete the ray diagrams. They are going to ask complete the ray diagrams. So question will be like this here. So here they are going to give pole, P for pole, F for focus, C for center of curvature. So they will give the question like this. So here they will give one arrow mark and O is given. So this is a question. The question will be like this: complete the ray diagram. They are going to ask complete the ray diagrams. So now we need to complete this ray diagram. This incomplete diagram. So here first of all we should observe the diagram very carefully. So here this arrow mark represents the object. Object is placed between focus and center of curvature. So when this is one position actually regarding concave mirror. So first of all we should what we need to do to complete the ray diagram. First of all we need to draw two incident rays which are coming from the object. So one is from parallel, one is coming from parallel to principal axis. So next what we need to consider here from focus. So we should draw two incident light rays. And next what we need to do here, already we know that if we incident the light parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray will pass through focus. Extend the light lines. And here, so if we incident the light from focus, it will move parallel to the principal axis. So these two are reflected light rays. So when we are going to draw the ray diagrams, don't forget to draw or identify the arrow marks. These arrow marks are most important. So next they are going to converge at this point. Just we need to draw one straight line from the principal axis. So here this arrow indicates image. You should keep just simply I. So in this way we have to complete the ray diagrams. So this particular process will be applicable for all the positions, irrespective of concave and convex mirror and different positions. Already I explained all the positions. And next we will see one more question here. Friends, I came up with a new question here. What is the shape of mirror which is used in vehicle headlights? I will repeat the question once again. What is the shape of the mirror which is used in vehicle headlights? Question will be like this. So everyone will write that concave mirror is used in vehicle headlights. But that is a wrong answer. Keep in your mind here. In case of vehicle headlights, instead of concave mirror, we will use parabolic shape concave mirror. We will use parabolic shape concave mirror. So why? Because if we use concave mirror, it can converge only paraxial light rays. Paraxial light rays. Paraxial light rays means the light rays which are near or else closer to the principal axis. So these light rays are nothing but paraxial light rays. If we use concave mirror, it can converge only paraxial light rays. So that is, so we cannot get the more brightness. That's why what we have to use here, we are going to use concave mirror only. But its shape is not exactly concave. It is nothing but parabolic shape. And this is nothing but parabola shape, U shape. And if instead of concave mirror, if we use parabolic shape concave mirror, so we will get more brightness. The light will move more distance. We can see the road more clearly compared to the concave mirror. So why? Because the nature of, if we consider the nature of the parabolic mirror, just observe the diagram carefully here. So in case of parabolic concave mirror, it can converge all the light rays, not only paraxial light rays. So that's why I am not going to draw paraxial light rays. It can converge except paraxial light rays. That means the light rays which are far away from the principal axis. It can converge the light rays which are far from the principal axis also. So if it can converge all the light rays. So that's why the brightness of the light is more, then then light can pass more distance, then we can see the vehicles very clarity. So it can avoid the road accidents. And next question is like this here. If the focal length of a concave mirror is 120 centimeters, what is the focal length of concave mirror here? 120 centimeters. For example, one person is standing in front of this concave mirror from 40 centimeters from the concave mirror. So now I am going to draw the diagram here. So this one is pole and the focus and the center of curvature. So according to the question, focal length of the concave mirror is how much here? 120 centimeters. So whenever if you find this kind of questions in your annual question paper, first of all you should draw the diagram, then you will get 100% clarity. You will get the answer very easy. So I am drawing the diagram according to the given question. Focal length is 120 centimeters. So what is the position of that object from how much distance is going to stand in front of the concave mirror? From 40 centimeters. So that means again, so here one person is standing, so 40 centimeters from the mirror. So this is nothing but 40 centimeters. So here this is the position of the person with respect to the mirror. Okay. So what kind of image he can see with the help of this concave mirror? That is the question. Again we should go to the positions of concave mirror. So here according to the question, the person is standing between pole and focus of the concave mirror. So what kind of image we will get here? You can see here. So when the object is between pole and focus, we will get first one virtual image. So virtual image means elected image. virtual comma erected image. And here number 2, you will observe highly magnified image. Highly magnified. Magnified means big size. So that is the answer for that question. So these kind of questions you should concentrate here. And one more question. This is most important for 4 marks. So here we have one concave mirror. First of all, we have one concave mirror. So the focal length of the concave mirror is 20 centimeters. So this is the question. So concave mirror of focal length is equal to 20 centimeters. So next, the remaining question is, an object is placed at different positions with respect to the concave mirror. So the positions of the object in front of the concave mirror is given here. So this one is number 1. Object is placed at 10 centimeters distance. And next, number 2, it is placed at 20 centimeter distance. And number 3, it is placed at 40 centimeters distance. And next, number 4, it is placed at 50 centimeter distance. So this is a question. I am repeating the question once again. Try to understand the question. A concave mirror of focal length 20 centimeters. An object is placed at following distances. Object is placed at 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 40 centimeters, and 50 centimeters in front of this concave mirror. So they are going to ask, write the nature of image in all the 4 cases. Write the nature of image in all 4 cases. So this question will come for 4 marks. So to solve this question, to solve this problem, we need to, first of all, we need to do this kind of question. Already I told in the previous problem. First of all, we need to draw the ray diagram. So again, I am going to draw the ray diagram here. So this one is pole and focus and center of curvature. So first of all, this is considered position 1, 2, 3, 4 like that respectively. Here position 1, object is placed at 10 centimeters. So what is the focal length here? First of all, we should write the focal length 20 centimeters. And focal length is 20 centimeters means radius of curvature, how much? R equal to 2f. Radius of curvature equal to double the focal length. So that means 2 into 20, it becomes 40 centimeters. So here the distance between pole and center of curvature is radius of curvature. So this is nothing but 40 centimeters and it is C. So now we are going to identify the positions of the object with respect to this concave mirror. So first position, what is the position of object at 10 centimeters? 10 centimeters means what? Between, it is nothing but less than focal length. So this is the position 1. This way we should write it. 10 centimeters means object is placed between pole and focus. And what is the next position? Number 2. So 20 centimeters. That means what? Object is exactly placed at focus. This is the position 2. And what about third one? So from here to here 40 centimeters. 40 centimeters means what? Object is placed at C. So here this is the third position. And what is the last one here? 50 centimeters. 50 centimeters means what? More than radius of curvature. So that means this is the fourth situation. This is the position 4. That means object is placed beyond C. So now we can, by using this diagram, we can write the nature of image very easily. So for first position, object is placed between pole and focus. So then what is the nature of image? Virtual, comma, erected and magnified. Simple. So this is the nature of the image when the object is placed at 10 centimeters. So next we will see position 2, 20 centimeters. So that means object is placed at focus. When the object is placed at focus, we will get real image, real, comma, inverted, and it is also magnified image. Magnified image. So now we will consider position 3. So here in this case object is placed at center of curvature. So when the object is placed at center of curvature, it is a real image and inverted image. Size of the image equal to size of the object. It is also real, comma inverted size of image equal to size of object. And next last one is remaining one, fourth one. So 50. So that means object is placed beyond C. So beyond, if you place the object beyond C, in front of the C, in this case also we get real, comma inverted and diminished image. Diminished image. So in this way we should write the nature of the image. First of all, without drawing diagram, it is very difficult to solve this kind of questions. First one, so what we need to do first of all, according to the given questions, you have to frame the question in the form of ray diagrams. Then we will get the clarity, then we will get the position, then we can write the nature of the image. So in this way, we have to solve this kind of questions. Thank you everyone for listening my class. If you really like my class, please go through my channel and subscribe and press the bell button to notify my next